Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Healthy Living Scottsdale Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Adam, here with Coach Terra today and Director Jolie. And we're going to be discussing a little bit about soreness and how it occurs, what it is, what's happening in your body, how to manage it and still keep your consistency in the gym, and then kind of touch on programming a little bit and how we like to design things to ensure that you can work out even when you are sore. It happens a lot. So before we get into that, we're going to talk about, as always, member of the week. And this week we are going with Mr. Mark Hoffman. Dude is, for lack of a better term, just a machine. He might precipitate more than everybody else in the gym combined, but that's just a sign of great hard work. Precipitate. It's raining outside. So he comes in at 1:00 mostly. He's afternoon guy. He's jumped around a little bit, but mostly 1:00. And he just comes in and he's like a kind of like balls to the wall guy. Like he's down to try anything. He's been dealing a little bit with a shoulder injury that kind of comes and goes a little, but really great at tracking his progress. He's always got the progressive overload in mind. And I don't know what else you guys got on Mark. He's great energy. He's
Comes
loud
in ready
presence.
to work.
Always
ready to work. From New Jersey. Shout out
New Jersey.
Just crushing it, Mark. Keep crushing it. He's doing awesome. He always is just. He's like, how can I get better? He's just a good guy.
Yeah, and it's funny because for those who know, the 1:00 hour in the afternoon is about 90% women, and oftentimes Mark will be the only male in there. Maybe there's one or two, and he's like they're like little son or like their brother, and he's going around hugging everybody. It's like it's a funny vibe. So great job, Mark, and kind of he came to mind for us at least, and kind of in connection with our topic for today, with muscle soreness. And we've actually had, or I know I've had a couple of people on the floor ask about how to they're actually confused about if they should continue coming in to the gym to work out if they're dealing with some level of soreness. So maybe we should start off with what exactly soreness is, and that's going to be the acronym DOMS. Either you guys want to take that and kind of intro into what DOMS is, what it stands for?
So DOMS stands for Delayed Onset Muscle Soreness. So basically exactly what it sounds like. After you work out, it's going to be it's typically 24 to 48 hours, heavier on that 48 depending on what you're doing. But roughly 2 days after you get done working out, you will experience soreness in the muscle groups that you targeted 48 hours ago.
Prior, yeah. So it happens a lot, especially when you have a new exercise or a new stimulus, which we've talked about. We try to build a skill with consistency during a phase, but sometimes like when we have those integration weeks, load comes down a little bit, and it's supposed to be a little bit less of like a stressful week, a deload, but sometimes people will still be sore because they'll be seeing a new exercise or something that they're not used to. It's also super prevalent with eccentric focused movements. So movements where you are intentionally lengthening the muscle is an eccentric contraction. So when you're moving slowly and trying to control pace, so like perfect example would be like your barbell RDL or any RDL really, and you're working down into the bottom of the rep for like a 3-4 second count, really focusing on tempo and pace. That lengthening of the muscle is going to essentially recruit more muscle fibers than a concentric shortening contraction would, and that a lot of times leads to DOMS. So usually what's happening with DOMS is, we've talked about before, is they're micro tears in the muscle. So the actual feeling, what you're, if you press down on like your quad or something, after, when it's super sore or something like that, and it's like that kind of tickly feeling, it's like you start laughing when you're sore, you can like, it feels good, but it also, you're like dying of laughter. That is actually the repair phase of recovery, essentially, or the repairing of those micro tears in the muscle. So the question that has come up is, should I say I'm sore today. Today is Tuesday. Super sore today. I wake up, it's like 6 a.m. Do I come in for my 9 a.m. session? Jolie, are you coming in for your 9 a.m. session?
Yes.
Why?
I'm coming in.
Why?
Because consistency matters, guys. We can't drive that point home enough, that consistency matters, A. But B, I think this is going to go into our programming a little bit too.
Yes.
You're not going to be hitting the same muscle groups that you just hit that kind of created that soreness, so to speak. But also from a benefit standpoint, movement's going to help to boost the circulation, keep things moving around so that like our muscles are healing and that we're actually like just feeling better as we're warming up. Maybe being a little bit more mindful with your warm up is another thing we can touch on too. So yeah, I'm not skipping a workout.
Yeah, not skipping a workout. Short-term relief is going, like the saying, movement is medicine, right? Short-term relief, actual like gentle movement, which I guess we would probably consider the warm-up itself. Like that is your intro into awakening the body and telling your body like, yes, we're going to exercise today. Like let's move up, let's ease into it. Gentle stretching, that's kind of also falls under the warm-up category. If it's something that you notice oncoming and you want to prep for, like, say, you have a workout coming the next day, like warm baths or warm showers followed by maybe some stretching right after your shower. So like, yeah, we're trying to warm the muscle groups. And then while they're already in that kind of warm or risen or elevated temperature, stretching at that time is also a great idea. And then we have it integrated into our program, like foam rolling, SMR, myofascial release. That's something that we like to put into the programming after a compound lift, and it not only serves at its purpose as myofascial release, but also as a reminder to take the appropriate amount of rest, kind of make that mind-muscle connection again, and slow the pace a little bit of the workout because you don't want to just blow through it either. So it's bringing attention to that as well. On the same note as our programming, basically we like to alternate a lot of the time. So like right now we're currently in a strength phase, and our workouts are designed to be total body workouts, and they are upper lower splits. So they're like a push pull essentially movement pattern. So let's just say we come in on a Monday and we're going to be doing upper body pushing, lower body pulling. So your typical exercises for that would be like a barbell bench press for your upper push. And then let's just go back to the barbell RDL for a lower pull. You're not going to see those movement patterns again until Thursday. So upper push, lower pull on Monday, then you flip it on Tuesday and it becomes an upper pull and lower push day. So being able to design the programming that we can alternate it that way encourages and promotes consistency, because you should continue to come in, and even if you have soreness in a certain area, that's not to say that muscle group isn't going to work at all. It might be a secondary contributor to some movement patterns, but it's not going to be primary in taking the load or like the heavy lifting essentially that day. I've had people literally say, I've canceled my session because I'm sore and I don't think I'm supposed to work out when I'm sore. I was like, oh, okay, so that's like why I haven't been seeing you. But we just want to clarify and like drive home the point that soreness is going to happen, especially early on. If you're relatively new to resistance training and strength training, it's going to happen because you're just going to come across a lot of movement patterns that you probably have not done before, and probably be introduced to loads that at least those muscle groups are not used to taking on.
And then also at the beginning of a new phase.
New phase too.
Yes.
Yep. So, I mean, strength phase, especially like right now, we came out of the integration phase, which is again, kind of like that deload week, which you might be sore from some of those movements because they're not always, you don't see them often. But now in the strength phase, we are in a 5 set by 5 rep scheme. And the goal is essentially max strength and finding 90% or higher of like your 1 rep max in pretty much every exercise that you come across, except for like the core and isolation type movements at the end, the accessory type stuff at the end. So at least for that first week, the first to second week transition is tough because you're reeling and your heart and you're sore from everything that's going on in the first week, and then you got to turn around and do it again in week 2. So anything else? I think we're good. Sorry, we just
we got some construction going on. We're doing a little bit of moving things around here at Legacy, so we got a little bit of background noise.
A little distraction in the stew here this morning, but
yeah,
all good.
I did want to hit on
what do you got?
Something else just about like muscle adaptation. I feel like that's definitely an area to kind of touch on.
Please.
Your body adapts to stress.
Yes.
Right, guys, like over time, like whether that's, if we think of it as like emotional stress, like your body operates in the same
physical
capacity.
Stress.
Yeah, physical stress. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Terra? Just like muscular adaptation, or like over time is.
So you guys touched on it like in a previous podcast about staying consistent with like a same workout. So like doing the same workout for a course of whatever the phase is, so 2 to 4 weeks. That plays into the adaptation,
right?
Because you're giving your body time to adapt to that exercise. So the soreness is going to be there to begin with, and then once that soreness leaves and your body gets used to that movement, you're allowing yourself to gain the muscle, get the strength that you wanted with the course of that exercise. Yeah, so that's what the point of the added stress. And with that added stress, that's when that soreness is going to come in. Right. But again, we have that programmed into, that is the way the program is set up, to allow you to first get the stress, let your body adapt to it. And once you make that adaptation over the course of those 4 weeks, now let's change it again.
Yeah.
Because you adapted to that, you got stronger in those movements. Okay, now let's change it and get stronger in a new, slightly different variation of that same movement.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's kind of like when we were talking with Zach the other week about it. It was about establishing the skill, the movement pattern, and essentially building that up. And we even get questions on like, why am I doing this movement for like the second or third week in a row? It's for that reason. Essentially, we're trying to find like the point at which like you're not going to really necessarily get sore anymore. You're probably at maximum strength that you're going to, and movement like quality that you're going to be
with the quality of movement. Now you're allowing yourself to get stronger in that position,
right? And then like anything else, we're going to try to progress you. So like we're gonna switch up the variation or the progression on you again, and it's just like a new challenge, a new skill to try to acquire, like with your newly acquired strength. So that's a good point to bring up. Anything else?
Awesome. I mean, I think outside the gym,
outside stress.
Outside.
Oh, is that where you're going? Sorry.
Outside of the like with soreness, just in general, just a way when we're talking about like recovery outside of stress. Yeah, a way to help the body recover too is obviously making sure you're drinking your water, making sure you're getting your protein in to help refuel the muscles that you're breaking down when you're in the gym, right? We're making sure that we're sleeping. So all those kind of pillars that we've definitely touched on over some of our most recent episodes too. Just it all kind of goes together, guys, right? Like keeping that consistency and making sure that we're just taking care of our body inside and out of the gym. Yeah,
keeping up all those things at home is big, because just if you're sore, that is quite literally your muscle repairing itself. So the best thing for you to do is to encourage that repair by keeping all of those things in check: your hydration, your sleep, and nutrition. So I think we'll go ahead and call it there. If you're sore, come into the gym. We'll still get a lot of work done and keep that consistency up. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Thank you so much for listening to the Healthy Living Scottsdale Podcast. Do you have a question that you'd like for us to answer live on the podcast? If so, all you need to do is head over to the Apple Podcast app on your iPhone and do 3 simple things. First, leave us a rating and review telling me what you think of the podcast. In that review, ask anything you want related to health, fitness, or nutrition. And if you want a shout out, leave us your Instagram handle or name. That's all you have to do. Then listen to hear your questions answered live on the next Q&A episode.